Prepare for the loading screen. That will be your mind exploding from amazing gaming news. Are you expecting this? I bet you're not. Oh, let's do this.
Hi and welcome to Respawn TV. I'm one of two hosts, Moose Blend, and I'm joined alongside here by Brendan McKenna.
Where's the second host?
We have a fantastic show lined up for you today, talking about some things that's going to turn into movies, possibly.
Possibly.
And some other things that might turn into movies.
Maybe.
Or not. You'll get to see it here. But let's start up with Fishy.
Basically, everything's going to be a movie.
Fishy.
No one's going to catch that except for people that are here
Fishy.
right now. The Last of Us. You remember that game?
No.
Anybody remember that? I remember.
Yeah, I remember it.
I remember hearing a lot about that game.
It was scavenging.
Yeah.
It was full of scavenging.
The Last of Us is getting a movie, which will be.
Maybe.
I've heard that that's actually going to be a movie now. Like it's been
Seriously?
confirmed. I've heard. So it seems to be a trend of video game movies happening right now. There's Resident Evil became a movie series. I believe there was a Tomb Raider movie.
Yes, I think it only had one, didn't it? It only came out with one.
I think it only had one.
And
yeah.
I mean, those games I feel were pretty much worthy of those. You know, Resident Evil being really big, becoming really popular. Tomb Raider.
To the point where people, when I talk about the Resident Evil series, they were like, "Oh, didn't the movie come out before the games?"
No, okay. To all the people that don't know, the games were out way before the movie.
I got Resident Evil 4. It's great.
I think it first came out on PS1.
Even older than that.
Even
Nintendo
older than that?
64. No, PS1. You're right. Actually,
When they were in the mansion.
Yes, that was a good one.
This I don't know because it's mostly scavenging. Unless they can like build some type of.
It's going to be created by a Sony subsidiary called Screen Gems.
And
It'll
they've been known to make some
live action film adaptation. So I like this, not CGI. Like there's another one. Sly Fox or Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper.
Seriously?
Yeah.
A
Sly
movie?
Cooper. They're making it CGI. Yeah. They wanted to make it 2D animation, but
That's gonna be one of those.
they wanted to make it 2D animation, but their producers were like, nobody goes to a movie for 2D animation anymore, so they made it CGI. And,
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah. Thing is, for The Last of Us, I thought it was already basically a movie.
Technically.
So, because there's already a
You didn't
6-hour
do
edited
anything
movie
about
on YouTube.
Right.
And the game was essentially, it's like a lot of movies that pretend, games, see how I'm screwing it up? A lot of games that pretend to be movies nowadays where you move from plot point to plot point through a little bit of gameplay. So it really...
And that's pretty much how they spend like your 6 to 12 hours of gameplay is
Right,
while
going from
watching
point
cutscenes
to
and
point. So
scavenging. So
basically, you're going to be seeing what The Last of Us should have been in the first place.
exactly. I think it probably would have done well if it was
That's
a movie.
just a movie.
And,
There aren't enough zombie movies. There's too many zombie games, but not enough zombie movies.
and if it is zombie movies, they're like really B level or
Only
worse.
one I can remember is Zombieland.
Well, that was funny.
That was fun.
actually funny.
That was a fun
funny.
movie.
Let's move on from movies and let's talk about board games.
Yeah, a lot
Who's getting a board game?
A lot of crazy adaptations. Portal is getting a board game. Valve worked on this idea for a whole year before
12
approaching the board game developer Cryptozoic, which is a board game company that I've heard. I looked up stuff about the board game, and people kept putting up comments like, "It's a shame it's being made by Cryptozoic." So I don't know if that's a good sign or it's a bad sign, but I'm thinking.
You don't know what.
Yeah, I don't know what
may
for.
come out.
Like they might be upset, like, oh, the price tag's too high, or something like that.
Well, yeah,
They
people
might make
complain
good
about
games.
everything.
It's a tile-based board game where there's different combinations of test chambers from the game, and you have to try to escape
So
the
solving
portal.
puzzles.
Yeah, with other people, and eventually you have to kill off the other test subjects because there's 4 test subjects in there, and you have to be the one to escape the
But
place.
is board games the way to go in 2014? I mean, a lot of
it's
people still
actually-
play them, but is that the way to go?
I looked up statistics on this. Board games are gaining more popularity because people think AAA video games are starting to get repetitive and boring. So
That
people are
makes
going back
sense.
into tabletop
so
games.
Maybe Portal just
Like there was a huge
opens up that
success.
venture.
Bringing up something I know, BioShock Infinite, the board game came out, and it was really popular. So
Do you have it?
yes, I own it.
How's that for you? Amazing. Any relations to the game?
It's a fun game, but it's so in depth that my younger sisters, are like, I don't want to do this, and I can't find anybody that would want to play with me. So
you force your sisters to play by
well,
a shot.
no. I've been trying to find people to play with me, but I've
I'll
seen
play
some
with
of
you. I might just.
Thank you.
I might rage quit a couple times.
That's
but
fine.
Just work with me.
I'll bring it by. Yeah.
Coming up next, we have Drive Club, and
Oh.
pre-orders are actually available now.
I don't know if pre-orders means that they're actually going to get full game. Okay, I mixed it up. Early access is when they make a partially made game and sell it off and then never finish it. Pre-orders is when you get the full game.
Yeah, you get the full game and usually something else like a T-shirt or a steering wheel. But this is the first-person driving simulation or simulator, and it lets you be the player that gets in a car and really gets a feel for the vehicle instead of whereas if you do a certain vision select for Grand Theft Auto 5, you just see your hands going over the wheel.
Apparently this is one of the closest things that you're going to get to an actual driving simulator close to real life, which makes me wonder why I'd buy it though, considering I could just step into a car.
Well,
but
if you wreck, it's less.
Yeah, and how much more innovative can you get than back in the 1990s when people used the peripherals of the wheel that you could drive?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I personally would buy the game just for its capabilities of showing me what the inside of a car looks like. I don't really care as long as it's not really blocky.
The idea that you can make your own maps. You can
that
drive.
Is what will drive.
You can
me
drive
to
whatever cars you want. Like if you want to do a race car.
And it's very multiplayer.
Yeah, and
based
you'll never afford a race car in your known life. None of us will. So, unless you really want to not spend money on anything else, you okay with no food for a couple months? That's cool.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So racing cars.
Coming up next is South Park: Stick of Truth,
which is available now. It's been available for a while this month, actually. It's described as beautifully crude, which matches perfectly to the theme of South Park. So,
can you really be mad at that? Do you expect anything less from South Park?
No. I haven't watched South Park until last semester. It was the first time I started watching it.
Pretty good, right?
It definitely helped me through my finals because I had so many art projects to do, and I was just falling asleep at the desk trying to do sketches and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm going to turn on South Park, and
you see, I think this is probably one of the television shows that really get big ratings for things like this. A lot of television shows, even movies, they make the Cruise video game or so-and-so video game, but South Park started off as a TV show. I mean, there's still a TV show, but now that they have this video game, it seems like it's just blowing up.
They already had a video game for the Nintendo 64.
I remember that.
Which was a very terrible game if you look it up online.
I thought that they had another one.
I thought
they had a couple.
The one was a first-person shooter, and if you ever look it up, guys, there's a YouTuber called Caddicarus, Caddicarus or something, and he covers it. But this game, South Park: Stick of Truth, is a Paper Mario-esque RPG with a hilarious story that is based off of what the TV show's current plot line is, and it feels like you're watching an actual South Park episode that you're thrown into, because all of the assets for the actual TV show are made in Maya, which is a 3D modeling program.
Ooh.
So, and that also works with games. So they just took the assets from the TV show and plugged it into the game.
There were sketches actually a couple years, I believe, before that showed them in 3D saying, hey, this is how we're going to change our TV show. Have you seen those sketches?
Yeah, I think that was a joke.
Is that how... Is that kind of how the video game is?
They're entirely like the show. It's exactly the same as the show.
Well, I can't be mad at that. They do it well.
They do it well, and it's fun.
And there's a lot of WTF moments.
Now we're going to unpack a pack.
Ooh.
Ho, ho, ho. It took me a year to come up with that. We're going to go to writer's room, so have fun.
Jacob Hubert.
What time's this meeting supposed to be again?
I mean, it should be the same usual time.
That's what I thought, but where's Dylan?
I don't know. The only thing I really know is that Dom isn't going to be here today, and that's all I know.
Oh, yeah. Aren't you going to ask me about this?
I see that dried blood on your hands, and no.
Whatever. I'm just saying, minus the vomiting and the blood loss, I think I would have made a hell of a surgeon.
I don't want to hear it.
Whatever. How much longer are you going to give this?
I give it a few more minutes, but other than that, I really just want to write a few things down for next show.
You can if you want. I think I'm gonna pack up. I got way too much to worry about right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I'm gonna leave here in a few minutes anyway. But hey, guess what? I got Titanfall last night, the midnight release. Oh, it's so awesome.
Oh, I bet that's amazing.
It is, dude. You don't even know.
Nice. Do you hear something? What's up?
Where have you been?
Sorry, guys, I'm a little late. The building was actually surrounded. I had to do some double backing to
What do you mean the building was surrounded?
by zombies from all the zombies everywhere. Have you guys not seen all the zombies outside?
All right, dude. Take a minute. Think about what you just said. You're starting to sound a lot like Trevor.
Hey,
No, Humans versus Zombies, the game that we've been playing for like 3 years on campus.
So, what are you even talking about?
It's a giant week-long campus event where everyone plays tag, basically. Everyone starts with humans, with one player being the original zombie. They are it for the first 24 hours. The OZ goes around pretending to be a human, tagging whoever they are able and adding them to the zombie horde. If a human is tagged by a zombie, they hand over their byte code, which identifies them as a player, and then they give the tag online.
Okay.
what's with the getup?
Well, this here's my trusty blaster. I call her Jasmine. It's my handy trusty teddy bear. I just freaking whop this at a zombie, and then they will be stunned for 15 minutes.
How are you supposed to know who's a human and who's a zombie?
That's what the bandanas are for. If you have it on your arm, that means you're a human, and if you wear it around your head, that means you're a zombie.
Sounds pretty lame.
Nah, it's not lame. Like, you go around, you get into the role playing aspect of it. You know, it's just you and your buddy, and maybe what if there's 20 other zombies out there just lurking, waiting to get you?
All right. I get your point, but what is that smell?
I had to bail in a trash can earlier. There was about 3 zombies after me. Gotta do what I gotta do.
Oh, Jesus.
It's so bad.
Hey, I think I'm gonna go. Well, I'll just send you an email about what we're gonna
Wait,
talk about the
no.
show.
We've been sitting here for almost
Well,
3 hours now.
I gotta go defend the base. Gotta go. Yeah. Well, I'll email you.
What?
No.
What?
You know what, Taylor? I gotta go, man. It's feeding time. Later, man.
Awesome.
Hi, and welcome back to Respawn TV. I'm your host, Moose Bland, joined alongside here by the ever-so-lost Brandon McKenna. Before the break, you saw Writer's Room with Jacob Hubert, as well as a movie deal coming up. For who is that? You don't even know. I don't even remember. But definitely, you should check that out. And if you missed it, you need to go back. Actually,
Rewind the live television
DVR, people have DVR.
or YouTube.
Whatever.
Rewind yourself back.
The Last of Us is the film, or the new film, an upcoming film. But let's go ahead and move on with PS4 news.
I'm sorry, what?
Let's go ahead and move on with PS4 news. PlayStation Plus Game of the Month is Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition. It's a remake of the top-down shoot 'em up for the PS3, and it's extremely fun from what I hear. It's a multiplayer game. It's extremely fun, and it's great that PlayStation Plus subscribers get free multiplayer games.
Yeah, it's a
And
nice little addition there.
Yeah, you can't
Aren't
be mad at
Microsoft
that.
doing something like that too, where you get free games every month as well? They did that with Outlast last month. It's a great program that you guys should really hop
It's
into.
great to keep people
if
coming
you
in.
don't have the money for a PC like I do, where I can just pick stuff up for $4.
Oh my god.
Moving on to that, The Witcher 3,
Witch
Wild Hunt.
I said witch hunt. I messed that up. Go ahead.
Wild Hunt. Well, it does involve witches, so.
I
This is
wasn't
the
wrong.
third and final installment of the Witcher series. I don't believe that because Halo 3 said the exact same thing. It's an open world, unlike the others, which were very straightforward. I've heard it's intensely difficult, the previous ones, so who knows if they're going to back it up or they're going to keep up with the same thing they had. Like, there's more Skyrim, RPG-like things. It seems like a lot of games are implementing a RPG these days. And the game is known for its beauty and the fact that it'll be a standalone adventure. Here's a little additional thing off of the track that isn't on our little list today. I forgot to mention that Dark Souls 2 will be coming out soon. The amazingly difficult game that is the sequel of Dark
What about
Souls
the Goat
1.
game? Goat Simulator.
And Goat Simulator, which I believe Dick Daly might have covered in the pack. But Goat Simulator is currently up for pre-order, which is $10. It'll be on Steam eventually, and it's a game where it's exactly what you think it is. You control a goat around a crazy open world. You lick things to grab them, you lick people to grab them, you lick axes to chase people with the axe in your tongue, and you get to bleat and jump on trampolines and bounce into the air like a goat should.
And this is America.
Dark Souls 2, Goat Simulator, you got a good mix of games to play, so go out and play those crazy games. Because, you know, the cheaper they look, the better they are.
That was Brendan's spiel, and that's all we have for this week on Respawn TV.
Except for the addition to Respawn TV, which is about to happen.
Which is Delta, which is coming up. I was getting to that.
Yeah, join me and Dylan Black on an amazing escapade through Team Fortress 2. You thought
You're
I was
not
going
gonna
to
say
continue
bye?
that sentence.
You're not gonna say bye?
They thought I was going to continue that sentence. I was.
Bye, Maryville.
Bye, America. Thought you almost said America.
No, I said a Maryville. Gotcha.
Welcome to Project Delta, where we're going to be playing today Team Fortress 2 with my guest here, Dylan Black. How you doing, Dylan?
I know. I'm doing good.
All right,
Pretty good
sweet.
night.
He's going to be the one playing here today because he's actually played Team Fortress 2 before. I have as well, but I'd like to take some time to talk about the game while he actually games. So let's get a game started up here.
All right.
I've said game too much in one sentence. We're going to be playing in Egypt, where we've got 18 other players going on right now. So the thing about this game that I really like is the fact that, first off, it's free.
Yeah.
This game is completely free on PC, and it runs perfectly fine on school computers. So definitely go out and grab this if you've got a school computer, which I know you do.
Yeah.
And
Everybody has a school
yeah,
computer. It's
second
issued
off,
to us.
is how much I like the community of this game. Is the fact that there are the 9 classes, you know, that are each suited to a certain task. You cannot win if you go out on your own. It's a very team-based thing, like the name implies, Team Fortress 2. And the community is really happy-go-lucky about things. Like, they don't care if you're good or bad with the game. It all depends on what hat you have on, because this game, up to this day, is constantly updated, like weekly almost. And, oh, geez, you took one out.
Yeah, I got one.
You got some, oh, you only had 25 health, though.
Yeah.
So they don't really care about how good or bad you are, because it all depends on whether or not you're able to blow yourself up in a funny way when you're drinking juice.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and how many hats you got? Because I got a bunch of hats. I got a lot of cool hats. I'm wearing a hat right now that's a metal hat. Because since this is Valve and they've got all sorts of stuff on Steam. They've got Steam. They've got plenty of money for this.
Oh, yeah.
Team Fortress 2 is updated all the time with new weapons, new hats, new accessories, even new game modes. They added a horde game mode called Man vs. Machine where you face off against robots in multiple waves. And
Switch this over here.
they are not giving these updates though to the Xbox 360 version. That is still just plain old vanilla
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2.
Which kind of bothers me because that's what I normally play Team Fortress 2 on.
You had to pay for it,
So-
and it's not updating. With it.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
kind of
that's
caused an issue for me.
Yeah, but this is currently, alongside, I believe, Counter-Strike, the #1 online multiplayer shooter game right now. And there are thousands of people that play all the time, especially ever since it came out for free. Everybody's just hopped on board.
Oh, yeah. I mean, free Valve games, everybody wants it just because Valve's such a good developer and they come up with such good content. It really it gives you that extra reason to play their games.
People have hinted at the fact that they want a Team Fortress 3,
Yeah,
but
it's so regularly updated. Essentially, everything is Team
Is Team
Fortress
Fortress 3 at this
You
point,
really
yeah.
don't need anything extra.
and people may complain about the graphics, but let's be honest, like the style of the graphics is timeless. It's based off of the initial designs. Oh, you're still on Team Blue.
Yep, we're still.
The initial designs of the game were based off of old 1940s propaganda.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the stylized characters are like. So you can't really bash it for the graphics because it's
kind of supposed to be that way.
it's aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know, and they can't really update that any more than they do, unless you want to make it hyper realistic, which is what graphics seem to be for nowadays.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes hyper-realistic doesn't really work for me.
Yeah, this game is so happy-go-lucky that I love playing it because whenever I die a bunch of times, there isn't somebody saying, "OMG, you suck! Why don't you go for it?" No.
We're a friendly community when
Yeah.
we play this, and it's all just to have some fun. So
On Team Fortress 2, you can go from blowing up somebody's head like, oh, you need some help. By the way.
yeah,
Got it. You can go from blowing up somebody violently to throwing a jar of pee at them, which
Yeah.
the sniper has a jar of pee that you throw at people. Like these weapons here, Valve makes their money off of the fact that people buy the items
Yeah.
that they can't get. There's a random drop, like there's I think a 1 in 1,800 chance of getting a hat.
Yeah.
And you get a drop maybe once every couple hours, maybe a bunch if you haven't played for a long time.
Alright.
And people go into the store and they're like, I want to buy this $8 hat because it's something I really want and I can't find it. And that's how Valve makes their money off of this. And it's a good strategy here.
yeah, it works. I mean,
Because-
you see people all the time. Your characters are completely different. Even
The idea of payload is one team is going to push a cart that has a giant bomb on it, and the other side has to stop them from getting it to the end by holding out the entire time period. I forget which team is what, which one pushes cart and which doesn't. By the way, here's all the classes, by the way. The spy is for, on the far right, he's for infiltrating in there. He's got invisibility, and he
Yeah.
can one-hit KO people with his knife and a backstab, but no other way.
then you get
Sniper.
the sniper that everybody seems to want to use. You get people. You got like what, 6 snipers in a match.
People love snipers
It's-
because it's the closest to Call of Duty.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You don't see a whole lot of medics. Well,
Whoa.
got left on the game.
Oh, there we
There
go.
we go.
Medic.
Medic, you're curing your team. Kind of an essential point, but nobody ever wants to be a medic.
No one wants to be the medic, but he's like the most important person.
Yeah, keeps you guys alive.
Engineer, he sets teleporters, dispensers that give health and ammo, sentry guns, which will blow up the enemy.
Yeah, really all around a pretty good class if you take the time and actually build the things you need to build.
It's good if you're not that great at combat, but
Yeah.
you will be hanging back away from the fighting a lot, so get used to not so much action sometimes.
Yeah, and then you get the big old heavy, you know, just firing away with his big Gatling gun, which
Good pairing up with the medic there, they're
Yeah.
always together.
you always see the heavy
lot
with the medic.
And you see a lot of fan fiction of the medic and the heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just look it up, a simple Google search. I'm not recommending it.
Yeah.
Demo Man's good for taking out entrenched positions because his bombs bounce off of walls.
Yeah.
And he's also, if you set him with the right items, he can become a Demo Knight where he like charges forward with a sword and he can decapitate people.
You always see the one guy who's really good with the
With
demo,
Demo
and he can
Knight.
ricochet off of any wall, and you're like, seriously? I had 3 walls to block myself, and
Yeah.
some guy will always get you.
Demo's amazing if you know how to play him. Then there's Pyro. Self-explanatory there. He
Yeah,
uses
pretty
fire with the normal mode, but he can also launch rockets and
Yeah.
arrows backwards at their enemy with the right click.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Then the
And-
soldier,
Straightforward rocket launcher. You
Yeah.
can rocket jump into the air.
rocket, and a shotgun.
And finally the Scout, which is the fastest. He can double jump, but he's the weakest character
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
All these guys have special items on them for accessory and stuff. They don't actually look like this in the normal game
Yeah.
when you start.
Okay.
So it sounds like the match is actually happening.
So we'll start off with Scout here.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks like we are going to push the
Yeah,
cart.
we're pushing the cart.
Yep.
All right. So my team's already kind of going,
Yeah.
which I should probably get up here and help the team.
Yep. You move
Oh.
shoot.
Right into a sentry gun.
Yep. Oh, but the sniper
Oh no, the
took it out.
sniper took me out.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well,
Looks like they've got 2
Yeah,
sentries
they-
being
they-
built up there.
wow,
Well,
they-
the last one got blown up. Oh, that's our guy. That was a spy back there that was hiding there.
because you know the amount of people who play this game, most servers get filled really fast.
Yeah. And I was trying to show, but there are also modes that are like, there is Saxton Hale mode where one person is given a character that can one-hit KO and has like 20,000 health against 15 other people, and they all have to take him out. There is a mode called Prop Hunt, where one guy is hunting down objects in the world that are actually the players. They're hidden as boxes and trees, and you have to find them and kill them. Randomizers, which are like, you get thrown in there with, maybe you're a medic that has a machine gun and a rocket launcher, and you just have to fight with those random items every single time, and they're all completely changeable. There are also normal modes, like every Halloween and every full moon and new moon on Team Fortress 2, they have a special Halloween event where you have to face off against Halloween boss monsters, like the Demo Man's missing eye and all sorts of things. You could try being a spy and try to backstab him.
All right, we'll go over to spy.
Yeah.
Because
Right-click,
Guts
but-
and Glory.
By the way, right-click is going to be cloak.
Right click flip.
Yeah, and oh my gosh.
Oh man, they're about to.
Yeah, they're going to win.
They're gonna end this real quick here.
I don't know where your team is right now.
Well, obviously not.
Charging
helping-
forward as a
Yep.
spy
Yeah,
gets you killed.
pretty much.
I think that's the end.
Yeah, that's pretty
of
much
that
the end of that
match.
game.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there it goes. So like I said, it's a great game. It never gets old.
Oh no, and
I've sunk like 200 hours into it. So you can get it on Steam for free right now. You can get it for Steam right now for free. And this was Project Delta. Join us Monday through Thursday at 7:30 p.m. I'm Brendan McKenna, and this is Dylan Black. See you next time.
a minute to split up. Oh wow.
Got that from Assassin's Creed.